definitely interested in finding a library with that knowledge. He has heard about it in his travels, and says, I believe the party is in accordance then. I will go with or without the rest of the party. The knowledge that is in Graven Hollow is something that simply cannot be passed up.
Durandon just kind of nods.
King claps his hands and smiles and says, good. He says, now the difficult work is done. I believe you can work with your own guile and wit and convince each of these factions to support this cause. But understand that without the Zentarum and their faction, or their stake in Mantle Dareth, I do not believe we can succeed. The Library of Graven Hollow is ancient and has been hidden for much longer than any of us have ever been in around. So we need that map. But I will have to rely on you to obtain the support, as it may be, as best you can from each of the representatives. The feast having been duly concluded, I will allow you to decide how best to proceed, and when you are ready, we will move forward. But until then, I recommend you negotiate or communicate with each of the factions and their representatives as you see fit, because I cannot be involved.
Well, I guess we're going to talk to the Zentarum then.
Well, I have some insight for you guys. Let me find it real quick here. While everybody was busy, chit-chatting and all of that jazz, I was mostly watching everyone. The leader of the Harpers, the Archmage, is interested in Orin, so I think Orin should approach them. The Order of the Gauntlet, the old man with the knights and squires, was pretty much focused on Bomir. And Davra, the leader of the Zentarum, was heavily focused on Durandon. So,
okay, I'll go speak to the Zentarum.
Take what you will from that. I wasn't able to find out anything about Valdu. I didn't notice anything, rather. So,
Valdu has openly been stated before. He's a member of the Emerald Enclave.
So,
yeah, that's not hard to find. He has a symbol on him. He's openly stated it before. It's known.
Yeah, but nothing from the Lord's Alliance that I was able to find. So,
okay. You guys, King Bruenor, after talking to you, tells you that anything you need, aid in this, you can approach him quietly. He won't be able to help you openly, but let him know what it is you need, and he will leave it in your capable hands. And he makes motion for his emissary to escort you back to your residential areas, which presume you go back and, find clothes that aren't burnt.
Yeah, right before we leave with the emissary, Orin bows to the king and says, Your Majesty, have you had a chance to speak with your healers about the madness that we suffered, the lingering effects, will they be able to help us get rid of the lingering effects?
Yes, he will have his priests come to you. He lets you know that I don't honestly recall if we covered this last time, but the lingering effects of madness from the demon lords can be completely alleviated by the spell Greater Restoration. That is something that druids can cast, I believe, at level 9.
Correct.
But he has clerics and priests within his Iron Tabernacle that he can send up and help. But once you go into the depths, you are going to be on your own.
So you cut out for a minute there. Who needs greater restoration?
Everybody in the party who's seen a demon lord. So I think you're the only one who hasn't. And maybe Sully.
Nope, I need it.
Okay, so pretty much everybody needs it because
Zip
everybody
point.
everybody has probably one level of madness. I don't know for sure. I can't remember about Bomir or Durandon, but I have one level. Sully has one level. So we definitely need to get that taken care of because the next time it lasts for a long damn while, and then the third time it lasts forever.
You seem to gain from the king the impression that he expects you guys to be here for a few days. One, because Bomer's armor is under construction, and two, I mean, he doesn't believe you're going to be able to, run around all at once. You may. He just doesn't believe that you are going to be able to, accomplish all of this right away. So we can do it in any way you like. If you guys wish to approach it it's up to you how you wish to approach it. Obviously not tonight. I'm going to apply a long rest, but
Works for me. Okay.
So, how we go from here is up to you guys. So if you guys want to discuss how to proceed before you do it, or if you already have a plan, and then we can play it out from there.
Hey Tony, real quick, based off of Eddie's or Sully's observation, did I have? I mean, I would have known just from talking with her, but did I have like any sort of rapport with the Zentarum as well, or was she just completely focused on Durandon and she just happened to chat with me?
Okay. So how do you guys want to proceed?
I think we should probably do a round robin and just start with Bomir talking with the group that he's been scouted out with. I'll talk with the Harpers. And unless you guys want to go as an entire group to them, to each faction, but you may be able to get more information one-on-one. And then Durandon can go to the Zentarum. Maybe with Sully, if Sully's interested in accompanying him.
I can go, but I really have no interest in the Zentarum.
Okay.
But I don't mind going and being, an extra body.
Oren, would you be willing to travel with me to go see the Zentarum?
Yeah, I can go with you to talk to the Zentarum. That's fine. But I do want to talk to the Harpers because I am very interested in the shield dude, the shield guardian.
Mister, look at that dude with the guardian who.
Yeah, well, sometimes, what is that? Sometimes wanting something, makes you a little jealous. It's pretty cool. Do you guys want to do that? Just start with Bomir and then just go down through everybody and the different factions?
That works for me.
Works for me.
So we going as a group, or I missed something? Are we going as a group or individually?
I mean, I think they might be able to get. I think at the most it should be only like 2 people per. Somebody who may be interested. I'm not saying you got to be a part of the organization you're going to, but like Oren's very interested in the knowledge, all knowledge, period. But especially the knowledge of the Shield Guardian. So he's probably going to go. You guys may fall asleep when I start discussing Shield Guardian stuff like that. But I don't think we should go as a whole party because none of us. Like for Bomir, he was talking to one of the organizations, and they were talking about tier versus home and all that good stuff. So, what would they? They may open up more to him one-on-one,
I wonder why they don't like each other.
or even 2-on-1, versus an entire party with different alliances, like Baldu's with the Emerald Enclave. So they may not talk to them if he's there because of important things, because if he's there, they may not get along or whatever. I don't know all the interconnections between the different organizations.
Okay. Did you want to go talk to your people, and then when you finish, we'll head over to go talk to the Zentarum?
Yeah, we can start with whoever. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I can start with the Harpers first, and then go to the Zentarum with you, and then Bomir can go do his thing, or we can just. It doesn't matter who we start with, from my personal opinion.
Hey, Matt, you have Circle of Teleportation, don't you?
Let me check real quick. I have something. I think I have Circle. Yes, but it's a very expensive spell to cast. We looked it up. Let me check real quick, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
No, I don't get it.
Exaggerating a little.
I don't get it until level 5.
Oh, you don't have it yet. Okay.
Yeah,
Level 9, you can cast it. It's 50 gold.
Yeah, it's 50 gold per cast of it. Which
I was
isn't
gonna
bad.
say we should send. I mean, if we had that available, we should send 1 or 2 of us to Blending Stone, because if Blingden Stone, Menzo, Baranzan, and I hate the other city. What's the other?
Gracklestug.
Gracklestug all have trade with Mantle Dareth, then why are we not using our in with Lingmanstone?
Well, it's not, from what I took from it, and Tony can correct me if I'm wrong, but Mantle Dareth, it's a secret base, so we might be able to get it through them, but we need the Zentarum more for getting the cooperation of Gazram Dulak.
Right, who has the map.
Who has the map. So he
Okay.
works, he's the Zentarum spy. I wrote down spy, he's probably, I don't know how you want to call him. But so if we get the Zentarum on our side, then they can give us something to give to him, so he would give us the map. As opposed to, we can find another way to get to Mantle Dareth. But we do need Dulak on our side in order to find Graven Hollow. Because Orin will tell you guys, if we don't have a way, pretty much Graven Hollow, like we can search forever and never find it because it finds, it can find you. There may be getting us in the general area, but it's one of those, if it doesn't want you to find it, you're not finding it. Is that correct, Tony?
That was what your research showed.
My research, yes, sorry. So yeah, if it doesn't, my research is saying, if it doesn't want you to find it, you ain't finding it. How accurate that is, that's just what I was able to discover. So anything that will help us get to there, I think we need to pursue.
Discover when? Didn't we just find out about it?
Through my research that I did on the demon
Yes,
lords.
4 of you just found out about it.
Yes.
Okay, so you already knew about it.
I knew of Graven Hollow through my research into the demon lords,
Okay.
but I didn't. It wasn't one of those like, oh yeah, we're going to be going there soon. No, it was mentioned several times and it caught my interest, and so I researched into it a little bit, but I was more focused on the demon lords that we have come across and what I could find out about them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool.
Sounds kind of shady.
You stay out of this, fucker.
All right.
Okay.
So do you want to head over to the Zentarum then?
Yeah, if you guys think we should go there first. Or, I mean, we can all do it around the same time, but yeah, we'll go to Zentarum and roleplay that, and then let Bomir go.
Okay.
And then Orin will go to the Harpers.
Okay. So you guys obviously sleep because you were, burned and so forth. And you make your way. Who is going to meet the Zentarum? I was letting you guys discuss and just getting the final answer.
Durandon and Orin.
Okay. And you make your way over there. There are they have like a small section of rooms that are set aside. There are 2 guards outside Davra's door, and she invites you in, offers you just refreshments that the dwarves have provided, as well as some of her own wine from the elves, she tells you, and offers you some before sitting down across from you both, looking you in the eyes for a couple seconds before saying, "You handle those elementals well," by way of greeting.
Thank you very much.
She says, "What is it that has brought you here?"
We are looking to head to, what's the name of the city? Mantle Dareth?
Yes.
We are looking to head to Mantle Dareth, and we understand that it is a Zentarum trading post. Is that correct?
She says it is a neutral trading post occupied by 4 races. The Zentarum hold one of the 4 posts in Mantle Dareth. Yes.
Who holds the other 3?
The Drow, the Dwergar, and the Sphere Fneblin. You notice that she's answering your questions extremely direct and without volunteering any additional information.
Orin kind of leans forward in his chair a little bit and looks at Durandon as if asking him if it's all right for him to speak.
I look back at Orin and nod and just kind of mouth, "Be very respectful."
Orin kind of smiles at Durandon, turns to Lady Javra, and says, "Lady Javra, thank you very much for the compliments on our handling of the elementals. I am glad to see that you are not injured in the altercation that took place in the king's throne room or feast room. If I may speak bluntly, I do not want to waste your time or ours. And he waits questioningly.
She seems to look at you, then back at Durandon. She says, "You wish to cut through the bullshit. Lay it all on the table." She says, I can respect that. What do you want?
What we would like from the Zentarum, if it is possible, we would like the location of Mantle Dareth and the assistance from one of your agents in Mantle Dareth to help us find the Library of Gravenhollow. And we are looking for the library to help us combat the demon incursion that is threatening the Underdark and all of Toril.
She looks at you, listens to the thing, your whole statement. So she recaps back to you and says, "You want us to give you access to our secret outpost of Mantle Dareth, of which we are the only surface faction. You want us to allow you or persuade our representative, Gazrim, to provide you with apparently a map to Gravenhollow, which is an ancient legendary library that no one knows where it is, except possibly him, apparently. And if my sources are correct, King Bruenor intends to send a force into the Underdark, of which the Zentarum will be expected to contribute some forces, because if others are, we must. And you offer what?
What is there anything that we could potentially do for you in exchange for this information?
She says it's not necessarily information you're asking for. You're asking for access, as well as the troops and escorts. And as many will tell you, the Zentarum do not like to do things for free. Would you still agree, Master Mage, that having things of value entitles those who hold them to compensation?
Orin thinks about it for a second and says, "I would agree with you wholeheartedly, Lady Javra, but as well as compensation, it could also be seen as compensation of helping with a greater threat to the entire world, which would also threaten the Zentarum faction as well. As last night proved, with the demon lords on this plane, some barriers are weakening. And you know as well as I do that if this, an example, this primordial that is being held captive or being held in slumber here in Gauntlgrim were to get released, it would destroy every living creature in northern Faerun. And I doubt very seriously that it would stop there."
She nods at you both and says, "Okay. You make a valid point, Master Mage. We're all in danger. But we're all always in danger. The gods have walked the earth. They have fought on, or walked Toril. They fought on Toril. So it will be handled. There's always someone willing to dive in front of the fire elemental, as we saw last night. I'm not refusing to help you. I'm curious if you're willing to make it worth my while. If I were willing to throw myself at the fire elementals who charge the throne room, if I were willing to throw my resources anytime someone asked, I would probably be a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, but I am not. You wish to have my access, and I am not denying it to you. She says, I will grant you. She says, if you will allow me to speak bluntly and save us the repartee and the back and forth, I will tell you what I want. And you can either accept it, or you can wander the Underdark. Does that seem like a good approach?
Oren sits back a little bit and looks at Durandon and gestures towards Durandon to, take over.
Well, the way I view it is it looks like if we need your resources, we don't have much of a choice.
She says, I see it the same way.
What
She
would
says, Gazrim doesn't have a map. He has a ring. He has a ring that will allow you to find Graven Hollow no matter the library's magic. I will provide you escorts through Zentarum-controlled trading tunnels that are not protected completely, but they are protected. I will provide you 8 I had to belch there. I will provide you 8 Zentarum soldiers for use as guards. If you're leading an expedition, you are powerful. I do not deny that. But you cannot guard every wagon. You cannot protect every supply line. You cannot establish bases and do all of this at once. I will send you 8 of my soldiers. I will provide you directions along Zentarum-held tunnels. I will provide you, of those 8 being the guides, to follow your orders. I'll provide you secret entrances into Mantle Dareth from our outposts. You will get the aid of the Zentarum, and if you can convince Gazrim, I will give you a letter that will instruct him to cooperate with you. Will that meet your needs?
It will, very much so. And what would the cost of these resources be?
She kind of smirks and says, I want the Zentarum to be entitled to 1/6 of the treasure gained on this expedition from the time you depart Gontalgrim to the time you accomplish your mission. She says, I also want a full reporting of all information gathered that you will give to King Bruenor or the other faction leaders. We want a full report, not just information that pertains to the Zentarum. Because information, as you would agree, Master Mage, is more valuable than anything some days. And lastly, there is a specific item kept in the vaults of the Drow in Mantle Dareth that I want.
I look over at Oren. And
Go ahead, sorry.
oh no, I was just looking over at you, kind of in agreement.
What, if I may ask, what is this item that is in the vaults?
She says if we are laying it all on the line, it's a sword. It's a magic sword that was taken into the Underdark by a representative of one of the goodly gods. Who can truly say which one? and it was lost and captured by the drow. We would like for you to recover it, and I will provide you a pouch that if you recover it, you can put it into the pouch and it will send it back to us through dimensional means. But we will consider that and 1/6 of the treasure to be, and then the information, of course, to be payment in full of use of our outpost, use of our troops, and of course, if you were to need reinforcements, we would provide them should you establish secure supply lines and the methods to transport our reinforcements. And we will call it a deal.
So, with these, what you will, help us with and supply us with the ring and the letter to Gazrim, you want 1/6 of the treasure that we come across, or the value thereof. A full report on everything that we collect, all the knowledge that we acquired during this, and the sword from the drow strong room, for lack of a better term. And you'll provide the 8 soldiers the secret entrances to Mantle Dareth, Zentarum aid, shall we need it if more, and transportation. A pouch that will send the sword back to yourself or another representative of the Zentarum. And will that also, all this will be in aid of the expedition that may possibly that King Brunner will want to gather for the upcoming altercation.
He says that's a concise way to put it, Master Mage. That is what I want in exchange for what I'll give. And that will cut through all of the demurring, all of the manipulation, all of the conversation, all of the diplomacy. You can talk to your group, you can talk to King Bruenor, you can talk to anyone you wish, but that is my price.
Orin looks over at Durandon, says, I have no problem with giving you the full information or knowledge of what we acquire on this trip, but I would be useless as far as getting the sword for you, and as far as the 1/6, we would have to talk to the party. But yes, sorry, go ahead.
When you get to that point, she nods as she stands up, and she says, then be off. We are cutting through the diplomacy. Get me an answer.
We will return, looks at Durandon questioningly, tomorrow, and it's a question to Durandon.
Durandon nods.
We will return tomorrow with your answer. Thank you for your time, lady. And Orin steps up and gives a respectful bow to her.
She returns it as well and says, thank you. It is nice to not deal with the flattery and falseness you find with the other factions. Straight to the point. I expect your answer tomorrow.
And with that, Orin follows Durandon out when Durandon goes.
Durandon stands up, bows, and says, until tomorrow.
She inclines her head and spins around and moves away from you even before you get out of the room.
Okay. Do you guys want to... Well, we'll go back to the party area, Durandon, and talk it over with the party.
So we'll call, you guys can decide and finalize and go make your decision as far as the Zentarum, and then we will pick up with the rest of it probably next week. I will say that the Emerald Enclave, especially since you have a member with you, they are willing to. Valdu, you're welcome to roleplay it if you'd like, but especially him being a member, they are willing to support you. And we'll go over exactly how, and you can roleplay all of that. But I'm just letting you know that you already have the support of the Emerald Enclave to a degree. So you can discuss the Zentarum amongst yourselves, and I will let you guys handle it here, and then that'll be the last thing we take care of tonight. But we're not in a hurry by any means.
Okay. Just didn't want Eddie to fall asleep while we're trying to knock all this out.
Eddie might already be asleep.
Cricket.
Pause for effect.
Okay.
Hell, I'm halfway there myself.
Yeah. I don't got to work tomorrow. My son's can't go to daycare, and my wife's got to work, so I'm staying home with him tomorrow. So just to make sure, Tony, I want to make sure I got everything down of what she's going to give us. But basically, she did say she would help with Bruner's plan.
Yes.
So the Zentarum are on board.
support.
Okay.
Well, the Zentarum are on board if you agree to their terms.
Roger. Now I forgot to ask this. I just thought about it, so it may be my fault. But she's talking 1/6 of the treasure is the treasure that we gather on our mission, correct?
Yes, meaning if you guys find, 7 swords, 8 shields, Dawnbringer. Now, obviously, it doesn't count, but I'm just using an example. She feels that they are entitled. She wants to be entitled to 1/6 of that, or the value thereof.
Okay. So we'll just say that since everybody listening, make sure everybody was there for the interaction.
I was here for most of it. I got the gist.
Yes.
Okay. Bomir?
Yes, I was here.
So are you guys on board with that?
Sure.
I am kind of worried as to what the sword is, considering it was, stolen from a god or whatnot.
He said
No.
It was sorry, go ahead.
Basically a paladin or a cleric. A paladin or a cleric had a holy sword. They went into the Underdark, and as will often happen, they didn't come back. And when you die in the Underdark, or cease to come out of the Underdark, the things you took with you stay there.
Right.
And it's not a god's sword. It's
Okay.
just a holy sword.
All right.
And I did do you guys saw me roll anyways. I did an insight check and was trying to figure out. Basically, she knew more about the sword itself than she was willing to let us know, and probably more willing. Sorry, that came out wrong. And she's probably not going to give up any more information about it. There's a sword she wants us to get it for her. But like I said, I cannot do that, so it would probably be up to Durandon and Sully to get into that area, because I doubt very seriously we need to start a war with the Drow to get into their strong room there. So I cannot say yes or no for that. Like I said, I have no problem giving up the knowledge of what we find and 1/6 of the treasure, but I'm not going to volunteer Sully and Durandon to break into the stronghold to get this.
Durandon, what's your stealth at?
Not what it should be. Hold on.
Don't fucking tell me I have better stealth than you do.
+3.
Oh my god, I have better stealth than you do. Hey, Tony, if you look at my sheet, there's like a little thing beside my stealth roll. What the hell is that?
That's your armor disadvantage.
Yeah.
If you're wearing it's not next to yours specifically, it's next to everyone's stealth skill. That little armor means if you're wearing a certain kind of armor, your stealth will be rolled at a disadvantage. It's not there because you're wearing that armor, it's there to inform you that that skill is subject to that.
Is it safe to assume I put my armor back on yet?
It is.
Thank you.
And you can apply yours as well, Bomir, your new armor.
Yay.
Right? Bomers are like, you can't touch this. Da, 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 da.
Now, would they, if they made me an armor, would it be full price, or are they trying to give discount because of us trying to help them? And the crickets are back.
He's probably talking with somebody private.
Probably.
I go ahead. I missed your question. Somebody was saying something.
Are they making the armors at any kind of a discount because we're helping them, or no?
Yeah, they've given a couple people a little discount.
Yep.
All right. I need to talk with someone about trying to get an armor for myself, then a better one.
Okay,
I'll talk to you about that between games.
That's fine.
Sully, what do you think? Yep, for a little stealth?
Not with you, Miss +3.
Well, maybe he'll send Sully in by himself. I mean,
I got lucky, and I have a +5.
well,
Druids
and
can shapeshift too. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Spider.
This is true.
And I would have to talk to my familiar Vasiki. He can fly and he can turn invisible, so he may be able to help you. I think he can. I'd have to look, but I think he can teleport short distances, Tony.
I'd have to look.
Yeah, I don't have his character sheet, or I would look. That's the only reason. Yeah, I just have his name there. And I do have. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure. Give me 1 second. I need to whisper, Tony.
Warning, do not enter.
The fuck was that?
Right?
Fucking pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. You have to explain yourself.
Yeah. It's okay to look at some porn while men are talking. I mean, that's totally legit.
Matt, you told everybody in a D&D group not to take their clothes off, so you need to simmer your ass down.
It happens. I wasn't looking at porn at the same time, though. I was just thinking about naked D&D characters.
Anyway.
Sorry.
For what it's worth, I can guarantee that the site that Mac is on, that threw that pop-up, is not a porn site.
No one's worried about it, dude. It was just a joke.
Just give me a hard time.
I know, I'm just saying. You know, just in case anybody actually did think, man, this fucker's watching porn. What the fuck, fucking freak? No, I know the site that he went to. It's a fucking TV site.
You're putting more thought into it, Mayar. It's just a joke.
I don't care if he was looking at porn. It was just giving him a hard time. Like I always do.
Yeah, not a good phrase to use in the same sense as porn.
Yeah.
On that note, I am tired. I think I'm about to go to bed.
Night, man.
Hey, night, man.
Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all next week.
So are we done for the night?
Yeah, let's call it.
Okay.
Tony, wouldn't you want me to give you a ring?
User disconnected from your channel.
Probably Friday, around noonish.
Alright, I'll call you Friday at noon. I'll put it in my phone as soon as I get off here.
Sounds good.
Alright, I am out too. I'll catch y'all later.
Have a good one.
Daniel,
Yep.
when do you want me to get a hold of you for the website?